Hello, I'm Isaac Carter. I'm here with my laptop because we're going to be answering the internet's most asked questions about fat tax. Let's begin. What is a fat tax? It's a very good question. So essentially, a fat tax is it's a tax implemented on fatty foods. This would, in theory, increase the price of the food and make it more expensive to consumers, which then encourage them to choose a less fatty option, which wouldn't be subject to the tax. Okay, this is a good one. This is just a follow up on Google. What other policies could be implemented? So to achieve the same thing as a fat tax, we could incentivize instead of penalize. So subsidize healthy foods as opposed to sort of taxing fatty foods. We could also tax other causes of obesity, so foods that are low in fiber or ultra processed, for example. I think there could also be sort of education campaigns. So that could be healthy lifestyle apps and education. Could also be perhaps banning the advertising of junk food. It could be the reinvention of the traffic light system to have more of a sort of broad church measure of different healthy and unhealthy aspects of a food. So like including fiber and protein, for example. Okay. Why implement a fat tax? Well, currently in the UK, 28% of people are obese. So that gives the government a good reason to come in and intervene to tackle obesity. Obesity has many negative effects on people, can reduce life expectancy and lead to other diseases, for example, like the increased chance of a heart attack, heart disease, or even things like arthritis. It's also very costly for the NHS. Our tax money is going towards the NHS. And what is it being spent on? It's being spent on things like tackling obesity. Now, if people did not become obese in the first place, that money could be spent elsewhere and, in theory, improve the NHS. So therefore, tackling it in a sort of cost-effective way could lead to savings for the government. Will a fat tax help families? Well, it will help families in the sense that they are less likely to become obese. And this can have many benefits throughout life, and it could also sort of curb unhealthy eating habits, which are sort of developed amongst young people especially. Where it might not help families is in the home. Essentially, often, these fatty foods are quicker and cheaper and more convenient for families to put food on the table. And therefore, any sort of measure to make them more expensive or more difficult to get will hurt families. Will a fat tax make me worse off? Well, it's sort of similar to the last question. It will make you better off in the sense that you're less likely to become obese and suffer the health consequences of that. However, a fat tax may make you feel poorer because if the price of fatty food is going up, it will cost you more. Is a fat tax really targeting the core issue? That's a really interesting question. The causes of obesity might be more due to not doing enough exercise as opposed to eating the wrong food. And therefore, perhaps a policy to encourage and incentivize exercising would be more beneficial. There's also a sugar tax implemented in 2018, and that has had a successful impact on reducing the amount of sugar that producers put into our food. I think it's best to look at it as one tool in a sort of arsenal to tackle obesity. Hopefully that covers all of your questions and you can find out more for yourself on the rest of our website. Thank you.